Welcome to Chatting with Kids about being online. My name is Diane Allegro, and I'm an instructional technology specialist for the Schenectady City School District. This presentation is offered to our school's parent-teacher organizations for a meeting or other type of event. When given live, this presentation includes videos and handouts. If you'd like to schedule a presentation, contact your school's PTO or email me at the address shown. Today I'd like to talk about some things we can do to help keep kids safer online. I'm highlighting suggestions from the publication NetCetera. There are additional materials including videos and handouts available at onguardonline.gov, the federal government's online safety website. Most of us, and probably most kids, do all kinds of things online. We may socialize via email, instant messaging, phone over web, Skype, or social networks. Many of us post and share pictures and videos. We may have profiles on social networks, sharing information with friends and family. Sometimes we create avatars to represent us in online spaces because we don't want to reveal our true persona. These activities come with some risks, including inappropriate conduct. Being online is anonymous, and people, especially kids, can forget that their online actions can have real-world consequences. There's the risk of inappropriate contact. There are people online who have bad intentions, including bullies, predators, hackers, and scammers. There's the risk of inappropriate content. You may worry about what sites your younger kids may stumble upon, or what older kids might seek out. So keeping in mind these risks, the Federal Trade Commission wrote a guide for parents called NetCetera. You can download a PDF of this booklet from the OnGuard online website. This booklet focuses on the idea that the first step to protecting kids online is more about talking than technology. When kids want important information, they turn to their parents. This guide can help parents talk with their kids about being safe online. Be sure to download your copy today. We often hear from parents, especially those with tech-savvy kids, that they don't know where to start. So, for parents who wonder where to begin, here are some tips. Start early. Even toddlers see their parents using communication tools. What toddler doesn't want to get their hands on a cell phone? As soon as a child uses a computer or phone in themselves, it's time to talk with them about safety. If your child is already going online, create an honest, open environment. Listen to what your child has to say and be supportive. Initiate conversations. Don't wait for your child to come to you. Use everyday chances to talk with kids. News stories about cyberbullying, a storyline on TV, both can be the start of a worthwhile conversation. Communicate your values and how they apply online. As a parent, you're the only one in position to guide your children this way. Be very clear with them about this. It'll help them make smarter decisions when they're faced with tricky situations. And be patient. Most kids need small bits of information repeated, and repeated often, for it to really sink in. Keep talking. Chances are it's going to pay off. Kids need different levels of attention and guidance at different ages, and it's really up to you to decide where your own kids fit. Starting with very young children, it's a good idea to supervise them while they're online, maybe even choosing the sites they can visit. As they're ready to explore a little more, consider limiting their exploration to sites you've already checked out and that you think are okay for their educational and entertainment values. Moving on to tweens, aged 8 to 12, who usually are ready to explore a little bit more on their own, it's still a good idea to be close by. Having the computer in a family area is a good idea. Parents also may want to talk about how much time their tween can spend online. By the time kids are teenagers, many are ready for more independence from their parents. They're starting to form their own values and reflecting those of their friends. But that doesn't mean there's no point in talking to them. Teens have access to the internet through their mobile devices, phones, their computers, and their friends' computers, so it's really hard to watch what they're doing all the time. It doesn't hurt to reinforce good citizenship messages with teens, along with 3 important messages that they may need to hear. Number 1, not all information's credible. Just because it's posted doesn't mean it's so. Number 2, once they post something, there's no taking it back. It's out there in the world. And number 3, no matter how impersonal it seems, screen names, profiles, and avatars belong to people with real feelings. Treat them the way you'd like to be treated. Let's take a closer look at social networking, cyberbullying, and mobile applications. Adults often see socializing online and offline as separate activities, each with its own rules. Kids, on the other hand, they see it all as socializing, whether it's online or off, and it's good to talk with them about how they act online. Even the most tech-savvy kids can use some reminders about their online behavior. What they do online can have real-world consequences. The words they use and what they post can have a big impact on others and on themselves. Remind kids that once they post something, they can't take it back. It's a message that's worth repeating, especially since the colleges and jobs kids may eventually want to get into will be checking their social networking profiles. While most kids are good at just deleting things they think are annoying or creepy, tell kids to trust their gut if they're suspicious about anything, and to tell you about it. You can help them report it to the police and the social networking site. It's a good idea to remind kids to keep their personal information private. Kids should avoid posting things like where they go to school, their addresses, or their phone number. Cyberbullying is harassment or bullying that happens online. It can happen on social networking sites, in instant messages, emails, text messages, and in games. Recent research shows that this is the online safety issue that kids are most worried about. Again, the advice is to talk to your kids. Ask them to tell you if an online message makes them feel threatened or hurt. The same goes for images. Keep an open channel of communication with your child, and hopefully he or she will come to you. Tell your kids that they can't hide behind the words they type or the images they post. None of us want to think that our kid might be bullying other kids. Still, remind your child that hurtful messages can make the sender look bad, and sometimes even bring punishment from the authorities. If your child has a problem with a bully, tell him or her not to react. Bullies are looking for a response, so don't give them one. Encourage your kid to talk with you about what's going on and to help you save the evidence. If the bullying keeps up, share the record with the school or the police. And if you ever fear for your child's safety, immediately contact the police. Block the bully online, remove him or her from your friend or buddy list, and block the email address. If your child's social networking profile has been changed or created without his or her permission, get in touch with the company that runs the site to have it taken down. And tell your kids that they can help stop cyberbullying by telling the bully to stop and by not passing on mean messages. As communications have gone mobile, so has kids' ability to constantly stay in touch. The fundamentals of common sense and common courtesy apply regardless of where communications take place. Establish rules about when and where it's appropriate to use their cell phones with your child. Can they text at the dinner table? Do they have to give you their phone when they're supposed to be doing homework or sleeping? Consider the example you're setting. Do you do the things you forbid your kids from doing? Remember that it's illegal to text, surf, or talk on the phone while driving in many states, and it's dangerous in all of them. And your kids are watching. Talk to your kids about using their manners on cell phones and online, since many of them get online through their phones. Remind them to treat people in the way they'd like to be treated. Encourage your child to think about their privacy and that of others before posting a picture or video. With mobile phones, it's easy to post a picture without the okay of the person in the picture, but that can be embarrassing and even unsafe. Better to think first than to do damage control later. And smartphones let kids check and update their social networking pages on the go. Remember that any filters you've set up on the home computer don't apply on the phone. Encourage your child to use good sense when social networking from their phones. The phone itself, as well as the mobile carrier, should give you some options about privacy settings and child safety controls. You often can turn off things like web access, downloading, or texting. Other phones let you set the number of minutes used, limit internet access, and provide number privacy. Ask your carrier what tools are available on your plan and your phone, and find out what they cost. Do you know about social mapping? It's GPS technology that's in many cell phones now, and kids can use it to pinpoint where their friends are or be pinpointed by their friends. Tell your kids to use this feature only with friends they know in person and trust, and not to broadcast their location to the world. You might want to check. Some carriers have GPS services that let parents map their kids' location. As a final note, there's additional information available at onguardonline.gov, including a video on chatting with kids about being online. Thank you for watching and listening.